If you don't, you have tools to deal with that too. I know just as a speaker, if I say something and nobody reacts, I'm like, oh, they were supposed to respond this way. I just say, what's wrong with you guys? Who isn't listening? You. And I just put them on the spot. Tell me, what did I just say? And they're like, oh, that's why you didn't get it. Now let's talk about paying attention. Let's talk about, there are spins, when you're on the stage.
Yeah.
So it's about being fearless. So even if you screw up, so what? Recover from it.
Well, and that's the thing. Once you fall down a lot, you realize,
who cares?
I can fall down.
Yeah, who cares?
I'm not going to laugh.
I'm human, sorry.
Yeah.
And
so we're talking about fear, but talking about fear is just telling a joke, to getting what you want, to quitting your job. I mean, I walked away from a job when I was 23, and I had benefits. I was 23 years old. I was making $40,000 or $45,000 a year, which I know is not a lot now, but at 23, that was a lot of money. I had my credit cards paid off. I'd written my first book, and I remember walking this very huge corporation, and I was just like, this is one of the most exciting, exuberant feelings of my life, and simultaneously, I'm really, really scared. Because what if I don't make it as an author? What if I can't sell books? What if nobody cares about what I'm writing about? And it was exactly that simultaneous scared, excited emotion, which I don't know if I've had that level of intrepidation since then. And I went right away, and even though I was doing radio shows and I was doing direct response, right away spiraled into debt. And so while the world thought I was making all this money, I was spiraling into debt and trying to figure out like internet marketing and book publishing. And part of that's the reason I'm a really good book publishing consultant, because for 20 years I figured out a lot of ways not to sell books. And a few ways to sell lots of books and make 6 figures or 7 figures. And now I'm really good at that. But it was very scary to make that decision. However, I look back on it, and without that decision, by one of my very good friends who was in the training program at that corporation, is now the vice president of a major hotel. So he's probably making $700,000 a year. He's got all the benefits. He's been there for 20 years. He's no smarter than me. He's no better looking than me. He just stayed the course, right? So I mean, so I could have been that guy.
But you wouldn't have been happy.
Well, I would be happy with the kind of money he's probably made.
Yeah,
I'd be
not
happy
for your
with
legacy.
Stocks. But what would be my legacy?
Yeah.
What would be my legacy?
What's the meaning and purpose of that besides having a nice house?
I help some people have a good experience at a hotel. That's not near as impactful as I look down at what I've done. And if I ever get depressed, it's a very simple solution for me. I just take my bucket list and I start looking at all the things that I thought that I wanted to do. And just for example, I've done stand-up comedy at the Comedy Store. I've traveled around the world to India to sold-out audiences. I've scuba dived off some of the most beautiful places in the world. I've dated girls from all countries, which was fascinating. I speak another language, and I've been on national TV at age 23. I've sat across from Larry King Live. I've been in 15 movies as an actor. So these are completely different categories of people. Like how do you do stand-up comedy and act, and how do you write books and have bestsellers? And the fact is, you can't do all of it at the same time. But over a lifetime, you can completely get there if you keep the belief that it's possible. And so I'm not saying I was great at any of those things. By gosh, I'm not the world's greatest actor, and some of the movies I've been are a bit embarrassing. But you know what? I did it.
You did it.
I've been in national, and I'm just like, whoa. Some people that's the height of their life. They get one national commercial and they live on that for years. Remember that Downey commercial? That was me. And you've done the same thing, Lisa. You've been a model and you've written movies and produced movies. You have a list of successes, which I don't know if they know about. It's quite impressive, and I think you are of the ilk of, I'll just go do it. And then I'll figure it out.